Lithuania seems like a relatively developed country. The country has a good reputation in the European community, but there's a lot of injustice in this country, which I'm about to reveal in this video, the dark side of Lithuania. This might sound absolutely nonsensical because you're not familiar with any of this, because that's exactly the problem, you keep overlooking this issue. So sit down and listen what I'm about to tell you. Specifically, I'm talking about the compulsory military service in this country, and what kind of disgusting joke this system is. In recent years, the immorality in connection with compulsory military service in Lithuania has become more and more apparent. This system, which requires young people, only the male part of the young people, to be forcibly conscripted into the military, is not just a holdover from the past, but represents a profound ethical failure of society. It is alarming that most Lithuanians accept this outdated and cruel system as quote-unquote normal. So if you find this normal, then wake the f up, because it's not normal. These people either use some stupid excuse such as tradition. Oh, it's a tradition, it's been like this 100 years ago, so... Or arguing that this is how it works everywhere else. Like using third world dictatorships such as Russia as an inspiration for their own country. The second part of this video I want to dedicate about the hypocrisy about gender equality in this system. What is particularly disturbing is that many women in Lithuania also admire this system, despite not being forced to serve. From these women, we often hear how they like that young men are forced to go through the military training, and how they see this as kind of display of strength and masculinity. Just try to imagine if that was the other way around, and men were saying stuff like this about women regarding their traditional gender roles. They will be seen as absolutely unacceptable, but somehow this is seen as okay if you use it against men. This attitude points to the tragic injustice of sacrificing individual freedom in favor of idealized notions of masculinity and service to the country. Then, when we consider that this law was set by a female head of the state, we find ourselves in a paradox situation. In a situation where the matriarchy does not help to create greater empathy and understanding, but rather to the strengthening of a system that traumatizes young men. How can this country as a society claim to value democracy and human rights when they're willing to sacrifice young lives for this system? Shame on such people. Conscription, as we know, is not only ineffective, but also immoral. Instead of educating citizens to be responsible and think critically, you are creating a culture of fear and submission to authority. What you present as a service to the motherland actually becomes a tool for manipulation and control, something you use as an excuse to provide torture. It's time we stood up against this mindless tradition and started discussing alternatives. The world is evolving, and we should be able to change our thinking and attitudes. You must dare to ask questions and strive for a change. Otherwise, you will only be passive witnesses of your own decline. Just take a look at these pictures and think about it. Yeah, just think about it, you dumbo. Does this really look like something you would expect to see in the modern democratic society? And please shut your mouth with your stupid little excuses, okay? I do not give a fuck. Have you seen how much conscripts are paid? It's a f***ing joke. Young people, especially those that landed good positions, like in IT, are terrified of it. And for a good reason. No one wants to end up at a significant financial disadvantage. This lottery draft is laughable. Everyone is equal, and the whole process will be clear. Yeah, right? Well, since the Lithuanians enjoy the benefits of the European Union based on democracy and human rights, why are they in favor of conscription? I see a major contradiction. What about this? They can stick up with their system and be challenged to leave the European Union and never see the benefits again. Why should we, as civilized Europeans, be funding such country? We cannot allow this happen in Europe in 2024. Not in this union. In the end of the video, for my Lithuanian audience, I would like to say this. Here's the 5 worst places in Lithuania. Karo prievolės centras in Kaunas, Karo prievolės centras in Vilnius, and all other major cities.